Hi there, welcome to the Dean Blundell Show. My name is Dean. Happens every time. You're watching on Twitch TV / Dean Blundell TV, as well as YouTube, DeanTube, Periscope, Twitter, etc. Hi. Welcome to Tuesday. Fuck, there's so much stuff going on. The big Bills win last night. I know Darren's a big Bills fan. We're going to get to that. We got some tons of COVID news to get to. We'll get to that. Like tons. Because Darren's in California and he just got an emergency alert. Emergency! Emergency! Everybody's dying. Emergency. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about vaccine distribution here in Canada, which is the shits, apparently. And don't get too excited for a vaccine before late mid-spring, which ain't great news, but it's news. And it is good news. What do I mean? Yeah, it's not great news. Bad news would be there's no vaccine. This is good news. It's going to be, there is a vaccine. You got a lot of vaccines. We got options. So we're going to talk about those options. Coming up today on the program as well, we'll pay a visit to some Trumpers in California. They're for a rally. They really impressed me. Nice little video that's going around. They're injecting people with the virus now, or the vaccine now, too. A 90-year-old lady. We'll talk about Bill Gates and how he's already controlling her. It's a real shame. I just watched a 90-year-old woman get a vaccine. I'm like, oh, there you go. Now Bill Gates is in you. That's me starting fires. With the Q community. Anyway, we've got that to get to. Austin Matthews, we got some Leaf news, and Darrin Pfeiffer joins us, as he always does, from the rock and roll band Goldfinger, and the Dangerous Darrin Show on Adobe Radio, wherever you get your fine podcasts. Darrin Pfeiffer, ladies and gentlemen.
Where?
Right there he is. There he is. There he is. How are you?
Oh, there.
You were like, as soon as you got into the podcast, like right before we started, you're like, I got a fucking emergency alert. I'm not going to swear as much as I did, but I am going to swear today because I just did. But you're like, I got an emergency alert. Yeah, I said it again. And this is big. Like California is in deep trouble. So you're in California right now. ICU full. Hospitals are full. Read that to me because it's hard to read from here, Darrin. It's really difficult.
Emergency alert.
Emergency.
State of California. New public health stay-at-home order is in effect in your area. COVID-19 is spreading rapidly. Stay at home except for essential activities. Wear a mask. Keep your distance.
Big news, everybody. Stay at home. Now, was that stay at home order that was supposed to start on Sunday? Was it not? Like I thought Gavin Newsom in the state of California were giving people a good long ramp to give each other COVID before they all
came out on the 3rd.
Yeah.
And that was, I guess, 5 days ago. So, and they said it's in effect Saturday and Sunday. So it's in effect right now, essentially.
Right now.
You got to stay at home, yeah. But there's cars on the road. I mean, I go out to get groceries and I see them. And I don't think they can completely lock you at home. Essentials are like groceries. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So, like, is it a lockdown? Because it's different everywhere. Like, what's open, what's closed in California? Just grocery stores? Is that like
hardware stores? Essential services like hardware stores, liquor stores. Believe it or not,
dispensaries. Dispensaries, are they open?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people use that for pain meds and anxiety disorders and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really bad here. But a lot of Californians don't seem to take it seriously. Me and my wife do. We stay at home. We don't go out. There's nowhere to go really anyway, even if you wanted to go out. But it's going state by state, Dean. You watch football on Sunday and you see people in the stands, and you think, what the hell?
I still don't understand it. Like I was watching the Bills game last night. Congratulations, by the way. Big win by the Bills, 34-24. Beat the San Francisco 49ers. Josh Allen climbing back into the MVP conversation. He was fucking awesome yesterday, by the way. But
he's good.
I was watching this game last night, and then I was doing some light reading as I was watching the game because San Francisco 49ers, who they played and beat soundly, had to play in Glendale. They had to play where the Arizona Cardinals play. And so because no one's allowed to do anything in California, like it is just like Canada for better purposes, specifically places that are locked down in Canada, like Toronto or Peel region, just north of Toronto. It's the same thing. And did I hear they had like 40 or was it 20,000 cases yesterday alone? Was it 21 or 22,000 cases just in California alone or something like that? Like it was they smashed the record by like 10,000 or something like that. Like it was a ridiculous number. And
well, deaths are at exactly 20,000 and rising.
In California,
cases are 1.3 million, up 1.7%. And we've given almost 26 million tests.
Fucking wild.
A lot of people here, so.
Yeah.
I've been tested a few times. Should probably get tested again.
Probably.
But the vaccine is coming. They say the state will provide COVID-19 vaccine to anybody in California that wants it.
Now, when does that start? Do you know? Because I was talking to a bunch of people today for a post that we're doing on when you can and cannot get vaccines here in this beautiful country of ours, this country of Canada with a C. And it's not like till March, April, because we're getting 80,000 doses of it. This is just in from the CBC. They're saying we're getting 80,000 doses of this COVID-19 vaccine here in the province of Ontario, 800,000, and everything's going to be run per capita after the first doses come out. Now, the reason why they're doing that is they're taking every single one of these doses and they're forcing them to the front lines. So like frontline healthcare workers, people that are working in old folks' homes, first responders, medical responders, firemen, that kind of stuff, people who are on the front lines and paramedics. So if everything is as I've read it, that means we're actually not going to have a vaccine that's widely available here in Canada until like March or April. So in no way do you stop doing anything with your masks either. That's the other thing I read. They're saying once you get the vaccine, you're going to have to wear that mask. So starting in April or May, March or April, May, depending on when you get to the doctor, you're going to have to wear that mask then for another 3 to 4 months after the fact, saying maybe July, August is when we're going to start morphing back into that maskless society. But I was fucking shocked that we weren't going to get really any vaccines for people other than frontline workers. And listen, it's great. I'm not shitting on it. But like we're not getting any vaccines until probably early summer. That's when, in my mind, I'm thinking, and I called my doctor today just to talk to him about it, just to say, hey, what's the deal? And he was like, probably late spring, early summer is when we're going to be able to house the doses, have the doses, and then be able to start inoculating people or giving people vaccinations. So it's a fucking long haul still. Like all this mess that we're seeing in lockdowns and everything in California, here in Ontario, it's the same thing. It's not going away anytime soon. So buck up, campers. Yes, Darrin.
I wonder if this is the federal government of Canada saying March, April, and then they'll get it out to Canadians a lot quicker and make themselves look like the hero. Setting the bar low.
And delivering high?
And then delivering high. Like, hey, it's January, middle of January. Yeah. Guess what? By early February, regular Canadians that are like you and me are not at risk so much to speak, like people with pre-existing conditions or the elderly or whatever, normal Joes in phase 3 or 4, whatever you call it, can get vaccinated by February. I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Oh, in California and in the United States for sure, because you guys are fucked. Like, you know, you guys are something, I think it was like 500 times the amount of case counts that Canada has per capita. Yeah, I know I said the F word again. But you guys are screwed. And it's not funny. Like, it's not a joke anymore. And so, you know,
was it ever a joke?
I think it was
only when it first started. And then Republicans, that's the only people it was a joke to. Democratic hoax at one point.
Do you know where it's not a joke? Is in Taiwan. Did you hear the story of this dude that came out of his house for literally 8 seconds? 8 seconds he was outside of his house. And the reason why they caught him coming out of his house, because in Taiwan, they've got CCTV all over the place. Taiwanese authorities slapped a $3,500 fine on a man who broke quarantine regulations for 8 seconds.
Well, if you do the Taiwanese money to American and Canadian money, it's more like a $50.
No, dude. The Department of Health in Taiwan fined him 100,000 Taiwan dollars, which is $3,500, like real fucking dollars. He was on CCTV, caught by hotel staff staying in a hotel where he was a migrant worker, and apparently in the city of Kaohsiung. I learned how to say that today too. Had to learn how to say it.
Huge
and he was a migrant worker from the Philippines working in Taiwan. Dude's like, I'm gonna step out for a smoke. 8 fucking seconds he was out there for. 8 seconds. And the police came within like 5 minutes at his door, arrested him, and then tagged him with a $3,500 fine. Do you know how much farther ahead we would be if we took this shit that seriously? Seriously. Do you know how much farther ahead if we had some follow-up? If the United States of America said, hey, we're going to start fining people.
They do in California, Dean, in
Sacramento. But they're not doing. Yeah, they are, but they're not. They're not. Nobody is. They're just doing like token arrests. That's all they're doing.
No, they're fining people. They're giving people citations. In Santa Monica, California, you cannot be out with a mask. If you don't wear a mask, you'll get hit with a citation. Bang! Like
how much is a fine though? What is it like? $100? $100 bucks,
I know there's signs
$500?
all over. When you enter Santa Monica, California, there's like electronic signs saying mask fines in effect. Wear your mask.
And I'm saying I think that's great if they're actually fining people. And how much is the fine? Like here in Canada, we're just allowing people to fucking trample all over everybody else's rights in the name of their own rights. Like that's what people do. Like this fucking idiot from the barbecue place, Adam Skelly, absolute moron, says he's standing up for everybody's rights, then has this massive fucking rally at his barbecue, and that gets shut down for a couple of days. It spills out into the streets on the weekend, and then people are walking up and down the streets, no masks, running into buildings, asking if they could use the pisser. They're anti-maskers, so they probably couldn't use the pisser. I wouldn't let someone use the pisser if they didn't have a mask during an anti-mask rally, even if they said, listen, I have Crohn's and colitis, and there's going to be an accident in my pants, the likes of which you've never seen before. I would have said, you still don't have a mask, so let her rip, bud. Let her rip.
You say, hey, listen, tough shit.
Tough shit. So anyway, my point is that if the police were out there banging each one of these meatheads with tickets for the afternoon as they walked by, you know how they set up like a ride program? Why don't they just do the same thing for these idiots at these freedom rallies? Same thing. It's the follow-up. Like I can guarantee you that migrant worker isn't stepping out of his hotel room in the Philippines ever again until this whole thing's over because he doesn't have $3,500. Do you mean to tell me that every single person that is a hoaxer or doesn't believe in this shit has $3,500? Have you seen the quality of individual that doesn't believe in science?
Yeah, they don't have $3,500 to them is like 3.5 million. They might as well be.
How much you get fined? $80, but it might as well be a billion, trillion, zillion.
Yeah, I got to work for like half a year to get $80.
Yeah,
picking up cans and shit.
Yeah, you know how much recycling I got to collect just to pay that off?
I'm screwed. No Christmas for me.
You know how much blood I'm gonna have to give to pay this off? How many times I have to jerk off into a cup?
Yeah. with four women?
Yeah. 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 That's what I'm saying. Make it real. Make it fucking count. None of these idiots have any money. So if you bang them with a fine and then you say to them, listen, you're going to go to jail if you don't actually pay the fine, you're fucked. That's what you do. I'm telling you, if they did that here, we would have zero issues with people. Everybody would be happy. The alt middle would be happy. The alt right would be happy. The alt left would be happy because
the alt right is never really happy.
No, they're just happy if you're white.
That's true.
That's the problem.
Yeah. If you're white, you're all right.
If you're white,
if your shirt,
you're all right.
GOP. If you're white, you're all right. If you're black, stay back.
If you're black, stay back.
If you're Mexican, go get a test again.
Are you dredging these up from when you were a kid?
No, these are all on the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
I knew that black and back rhymed and white and all right.
Hey, Sean,
what do you do when you're a musician? You got these wheels in your head.
Sean, did I send you the video of those two Trump broads, by the way? I think I did. I don't know if you, I did. I sent it to you. You got to check it out. I wanted to show that to you, but we don't have it ready. It's just an email. I sent it to you an email. Yeah. Yeah, email. Anyway, I was laughing because when I was doing some research this morning, and it's always America. I don't know what it is. Yeah, America has more COVID than everybody. America has more presidents than anybody. Now you got the two. America's got more problems than anybody. And America has some fucking terrible mall Santas. Like absolutely fucking god awful mall Santas.
You ever see Bad Santa? Of course you have, right?
Both of them.
The second one was but the first one was just
outrageously funny.
So funny.
Yeah, outrageously funny.
Not to get too deep, but
well, go ahead.
The best line ever.
You ain't gonna shit right for a week.
No, not that. He's sitting in the locker room. He's smoking a cigarette. He's staring off into space, reflecting.
Yeah.
He goes, I think I turned the corner today. He smokes a cigarette, and the little guy, whatever his name is, goes, "Oh yeah, how?" And he goes, "I beat the shit out of some kids today. It made me feel like I accomplished something in life."
Yeah.
Remember when he beat up those bullies? That was
yeah.
Picking on Thurman Merman.
Yeah, I remember. That was a fucking great movie. Still is.
So good.
But this Santa can give that guy a run for money. They're calling him liberal Santa. I don't think this is liberal Santa. I think this is just fucking asshole
liberal
Santa. Well, it is because this kid, it could be I think it's in Minneapolis. Kid goes to the mall with his mom. Mom's got the baby. She's got the little 6-year-old kid with her. And the kid sits up and he asks Santa for one thing. One thing. The kid's been in his house for months. There's a global plague going around. Times are tough. And he asked Santa for a Nerf gun. I want you to listen to liberal Santa because he is very anti-gun. Listen to him crush this poor kid in the middle of a mall in Minneapolis, USA. Watch this.
What do you want for Christmas? Give me a second. You don't know? What? No guns. Nerf gun. No, not even a Nerf gun. No, if your dad wants to get it for you, that's fine, but I can't bring it to you. But what else would you like? Lots of other toys. There's Legos, there's bicycles, there's cars and trucks. What do you think? What do you think?
Here come the tears. There we go. Oh, there he's crying. Yeah, you can hear him. Mom is like, she's now sidling up to her young buck, trying to console him because Santa just shit all over his Christmas list. I want a Nerf gun, Santa. And you know what Santa says? I'm not getting you a gun. I'm not getting you any guns, kid. Here's the thing. If you want a fucking Nerf gun, go ask your derelict Republican dad for one, he says to the kid. You murderous little prick. Look at that. Look at the damage this Santa did to that little boy. It's like a special trip to the mall. He's still crying. He's been crying for like fucking 30 seconds to a minute. And Santa's like, hey, listen, get the kid out of here. All right. This is a no gun Santa. I don't want to be around guns. I don't care if they shoot sponges on the end of spongy tubes. There are no guns coming from this Santa into your Christmas list.
I wonder if he got reprimanded in any way by the mall.
Fired. He got fired.
He did?
Yeah, he got fired for not letting that.
Yeah, rule number 1 on the list of Santa's. Rule number 1.
Yeah.
Don't make kids cry.
Well, how about fucking this? Rule number 1.
2.
Yes.
Rule number 2. Give them whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
If they want $1 million and they want a Tesla,
yeah,
sure, it's on its way.
Sure.
Let the parents deal with it on Christmas morning when there's no Tesla.
I would have said, if I was that Santa, I would have said, listen, kid, I'll get you whatever Nerf gun you want. And how many bullets? You want me to replace the sponge with like hollow tips? Do you want extra mags? Kid, listen, I would have said, listen, you don't want that gun. What you want is an AR-15. This is fucking America.
Yeah. Or just aim for the shoot for the stars and get an AK-47.
Yeah.
And
with a bump stock.
And kid, listen, you're in the mall. This is perfect.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
You're not wearing a mask.
That's how I'll tell you
Your
what.
sister's not wearing a mask.
That's how you start. That's how mall shooters begin their long climb and long descent into dastardly bullshit. That's where they
I want to
start.
know what this kid's name is.
I don't know. You'll never know what the kid's name
No,
is.
you will in like 10 years. So he'll go into a mall. Fucking Santa never gave me a gun.
It's good, and he's gonna take out every mall Santa within like 300 square miles just because that Santa said no, you can't have a Nerf gun.
Yeah, and then he'll put a gun in his mouth and end it.
Something we tweeted that out today, and someone actually was had a great counterpoint. He's like, listen, the kid's soft. You know, and it was,
Soft?
and he's like cowboy the fuck up a little bit and know that, listen, there are lots of other gifts out there. You know, it seemed to be a little entitlement.
Santa shits on your dreams. It's a damaging thing.
To me, it seemed like he was really entitled, that kid. Like he had another thing coming. And then if you listen to it, which was really one of the lost parts of this, if you go and watch that video again, is you listen to him list off a litany of other things that are like 5,000 times more expensive than this little Nerf gun that he asked for. He's like, do you want a truck? Do you want a car? Can I get you a bicycle? Can I get you something else? Like he was just listing off a million other things that the mother's like, no, fuck it, that's too expensive. Why are you doing that? Why are you inserting
I want 5 or 6 PS5s for every room in the house. I want all the game, like 50 games each for each room.
Yeah.
I want a new car, a truck, a boat.
But this is the problem. And my point is this is where we've come from. This is where we are now, where people's worldviews are now fucking kids over at the mall. Because this guy is some kind of do-gooder Democrat or left-leaning liberal or radical left-leaning guy who doesn't like guns, or he's like mega anti-gun. Listen, I'm as anti-gun as the next guy. I don't like guns. I don't think there's a purpose for guns. Having said that, I drove by the Sharon Gun Club the other day and I thought, it'd be fun to go in and shoot some guns. But I'm not about to go out and shoot some people. And I don't hate people that love guns and love going out and shooting animals with guns and love target shooting with guns.
I have a gun.
Do you?
Yeah. You want to see it?
I don't think you do.
You don't think I have a gun?
I don't think you have a gun. No. Are you going to get your gun? I don't think he's got a gun. And if he has a gun, it's like a revolver. It's like a little pistol or something, like a 38 special. It's like it's not like a real gun. Oh, that looks like a real gun. So is that real? Is that a real what is that? A Smith & Wesson? Oh yeah, that's real. Why the fuck do you have a gun? What do you need that gun for?
It is a Beretta 9mm. It's a beautiful gun.
Yeah, but what do you need a gun for?
I don't keep it loaded, of course.
Yeah, I know that. But what do you need a gun for? Why did you get a gun?
There you go. It's unloaded.
Yeah, I know that. You haven't answered the question. Why do you need a gun?
I toured a lot when I was married the first time around, and we didn't live in a horrible neighborhood by any means, but I always felt that, like, if somebody was going to break into my house, I told my first wife, just point the gun at the ceiling, which was an attic, and just unload like 3 or 4 clips or rounds, and they'll be scared off. Because we had apparently someone tried to break into the building before we moved into it, in the house, and there were marks where someone tried to jimmy the lock. And we lived in a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood, not a bad neighborhood at all. But I felt like I'm gone for 6-7 months at a time. I want my wife. I felt good knowing that the gun was next to the bed, and if anybody tried to break in, she could defend herself.
And you kept it?
I kept it. Yeah.
Do you ever use it?
No. I take it to the range like a couple times a year and just blow off some steam. It's actually quite therapeutic to shoot off a couple hundred rounds at a target into a safe facility with earplugs and glasses, and you got to sign in and sign a bunch of forms. But you go and you shoot off a bunch of rounds, and it's like I said, it's therapeutic. It blows off steam.
Did it ever cross your mind that you could just turn around and turn that gun on the guy next to you? Like, has it ever come into your head? No. Yes. Why am I laughing? Great question.
No, it could, I suppose, but you don't hear about any of this. You don't hear about gun range assaults ever.
That's how the dude from the guy, what was his name? Kyle, what was his name? The Navy SEAL guy. the sniper. What was his name? Was it Sniper?
Oh, the guy from the movie?
Yeah. Bradley Cooper played him. He died at a gun range. He went to a gun range with another veteran, and the guy went nuts. That's what I'm saying. It's where all the guns are.
Yeah, but that's also Texas, and it's like you get a gun at birth.
They just hand you one. It's like a rite of
In
passage.
Texas, yeah, they take their guns and their football very seriously.
Do they really?
Oh yeah, it's a carry state. You can carry a gun.
You can just carry it open. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Like you can just have it in your holster, or can you put it down the back of your pants?
You can have it in your holster. I've seen it before. It's uncommon, but I have seen it. And the same with
Arizona. People are just allowed to walk around with guns hanging out in Texas.
The problem is they don't want you to conceal it. If you have a gun, make sure it's seen and in the open.
Yeah.
They don't want it in your pants, hidden.
So do you need to have a concealed carry license? Is there a license that comes with concealing a weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'd have to. So anyone's allowed to have a gun, and you just have to show the gun to people when you're walking around with it. You need to be a special kind of gun owner to be allowed to put the gun behind your back underneath your suit coat. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's like bankers and jewelers and people that carry around money. They don't want to draw attention to themselves. Like they have a gun, that guy might have some money on him.
Yeah.
If you're
fucking
a
weird country. You live in a very, very, very weird country.
We're backwards. We're not the greatest country in the world by a long shot. Canada's in the top 5
of countries to live in.
Probably. Yeah, I'd say top 5, top 3.
It always is. It's like it's up there with Switzerland,
Sweden,
France. all those rich hoity-toity countries. That's where Canada is. But the one thing I do know is that I couldn't tell you where I would go in Canada to go get a handgun. I couldn't tell you. Like you can't just walk into a store. We don't have guns and ammo stores here. You can't.
Alberta, in the mall, there's a gun store at the mall. I went to it.
Oh, did you really?
In the big mall there in Edmonton. Yeah, there's a gun store right at the front of the mall.
I'm sure there is because it's fucking Alberta. But it's just so odd. In the States, you'd have malls, and every mall would have a gun store in it. I used to drive around Detroit when I used to live down there, and they had guns, ammo, and liquor all in the same. That's what the sign said at the top of the store. It just said guns, ammo, liquor, lotto. Like you knew, well, that's all the guns, ammo, liquor, lotto store, right in Canada, where you could get. Like they have to separate all that shit because they don't want everybody going to one store to get all the bad things. So, but in the States, they don't give a shit, which is, I find incredible. And I find it unreal that you have a handgun. I don't know why. Blew my mind.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that you showed me too. You don't need to do that.
That was good too.
I think that's illegal. Is it illegal to actually point a gun at someone on TV too? I think it is.
I don't think it is.
Oh.
I don't think it is. Give me your money, Dean.
We're laughing. It's like that scene from
that. Dude.
It's that you pointing a real gun at me. It's like that scene from Semi Pro where he called him a jive turkey. Like that's not a real gun. It's incrediable. Do you ever want? I won't ask that question. I was going to ask if you ever want.
I'm very safe with it. I read the owners. Man, they have to take a test. I took a test. It was a background check. I had to wait. I had to wait 2 weeks to get it.
Are you a good shot?
Decent, I suppose. I don't know. I don't practice as much as a cop would, or a detective, or someone that requires to, like a armed security guard would have to be good. I don't practice that much.
No.
I practice drums, guitar. I practice music.
It's probably a good thing.
I practice podcasting.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the podcasting? I practice podcasting.
Right now.
Anyway, that's it for us. Have a great day, everybody.
Well, hold on, Dean. If it's this gun thing is it's in our Second Amendment is at that time when the Constitution was written, the founders thought it that important to make it the Second Amendment. But I'm in the camp of if it was ever repealed, the Second Amendment was ever repealed, a lot of Americans would go bonkers, but not me. If they said you have to give up your guns because look, Canada doesn't have guns, the UK, France, New Zealand, Australia, like there's a lot of places around the world that have given up their guns. Australia gave up their guns after a mass shooting and no one gave a stink. They just said, okay, that's smart. That makes sense. Give us a tax break and we'll give up our guns. Same. But if America did that, I think a lot of Americans would go crazy. I'm not in that camp. I'd give it up.
You'd have no problem not having a gun.
No problem giving it up. But I know a lot of people that would.
Yeah, it's amazing. The dichotomy between those two camps in one country is crazy because it is a gun culture. Like you do live in a gun culture where they put that in their in your constitution. It is the Second Amendment. It is your right to bear arms. It's your right to protect yourself. But it's not a right. You don't have a right to go around scaring people with it, and that's really what the whole fucking thing, from an outsider's perspective, has become. Right? Because people get caught up in the argument as to whether or not guns kill people or human beings kill people. And I don't care about that because it's the gun itself. If it wasn't there, it wouldn't happen. And then they go, oh, well, you'd find another way to fucking kill somebody. I don't think you would. I think that you would just have far less shootings. You would have way fucking fewer mass shootings. What was it? I read a number the other day, 374 mass shootings in the United States this year alone. 374. It's a lot. That's a lot because you've got 600 million guns in that country, right?
The problem comes with, the Second Amendment. People feel that they have the right to defend themselves. When the Constitution was written, it was a much different time. You could have your door kicked in by the British, and they could kill you and take your belongings and set your house on fire.
But it was a real fear. Yeah, I know, but if that was a real fear, but it was a real fear that you were going to be somehow cursed if you admitted that a black person was as equal to a white person back then, right? Do you remember back in the Constitution, a black person was like 2/5 or 3/5 of a white person? They changed that. And so that's what I don't understand and I do understand it because of the NRA and the fact that, if you think people are fucking freaking out over masks, wait until you try and come for their guns. Right?
Exactly.
Like that's not a country where you want to go and claw back people's rights, specifically if they're armed and armed to the tits, which most of you are. I'm just happy you only have the one gun.
But I'm like I said, dude, I'm in the camp of if they said guns are killing people at an alarming rate, it's a big problem in this country, which it is. It's a gun control and gun issues are a huge problem. We got to give up your guns. I'd be like, okay, cool. I would urge my friends to do the same and not put up much of a stink. You get your money back, or you get some sort of reparation, some tax break or something. But you're right. If the guns weren't there, a lot of people would be spared. A lot of lives would be spared. But America is ass backwards. Half the country voted for Trump, and that 70 million people are going to be like, "There's cold day in hell before you take my gun from me," and that's sad.
Yeah,
it's the right thing to do. Look at other countries that have done that, and their mass shootings went to zero.
Yeah, and you mentioned New Zealand after that mass shooting in the church in New Zealand. They banned guns and assault weapons, but people weren't as attached to their assault weapons and their guns as they are in the United States.
And Australia was a shooting in Tasmania, and then that week the legislation said no guns, and there was a little bit of resistance, but mostly people were like, "Okay, that makes sense. We'll give up our guns."
Yeah,
that wouldn't happen here.
No, fuck no. Absolutely not.
It makes me sad.
Kids are grown. Kids are like taught to love guns. In the United States, in Canada, they're taught to like be afraid of guns. I remember though. I will say,
I grew up in New York, and we had a healthy respect for our guns in our family. We had handguns, we had shotguns, we had 22s, we had BB guns. We shot each other all the time with BB guns. But our grandparents, our parents, our uncles would there's no playing around. We can play around with firecrackers, throw them at each other, but which we did all the time. But you couldn't fuck around with guns, and you held it to the ground. You never had it loaded. You went into a wooded area if you wanted to shoot it. You made sure you shot it at a mound of dirt so it didn't go into someone's backyard. We were really safe with it.
Seems like a really
seems like in a cabinet at home.
Yeah, but it seems like a really expensive, useless hobby to shoot expensive bullets into a mound of dirt just because you can.
It is fun. It is therapeutic and fun to unload a shotgun.
Did you ever go for walks when you were a kid instead?
Oh yeah, plenty of walks and bike rides and skateboards.
You have a bike?
Motorcycles, and we had all kinds of fun shit. But it depends on where you grow up. So New York, at least in my part of New York, Western New York, we had a healthy respect. Whereas in Texas and Arizona and other parts of the country, it's like they don't. They get drunk and they shoot out of their windows, and it's a mess. You go to Texas, and especially the southern part, like near El Paso or Corpus Christi, or in the southern part, you'll see signs, like stop signs, that have huge shotgun holes through them because people just drive around and shoot shotguns at signs. It's maddening.
Seriously?
Yeah, Tennessee. There's lots of, you can see signs in Tennessee and Kentucky that have been bullet ridden.
Yeah, yeah, because they don't give a shit, right? They're like, yeah, stop. I'll stop and shoot that gun. I'll stop and shoot that sign. I'll stop.
Well, they went to the,
but they're allowed to drink and drive. They're allowed to
their guns and ammo, and they also got some whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey.
And around with these 22s
some lotto tickets.
Throwing them out their window.
God bless America. Anyway, that's it for us. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening, watching the podcast. Thanks to our friends at Owner's Box Fantasy Sports. Right now, if you sign up for your Owner's Box account, you get $100 in bonus cash. So they're basically paying you to play fantasy sports. And we've got a full deck of NFL games coming up this weekend. And because of COVID, some weekday NFL games. And there is no better way to entertain yourself if you're an NFL fan than by playing some weekly fantasy sports with the premier weekly fantasy sports app, ownersbox.com. Go and sign up. Get yours today, totally free of charge. It's a great spot. Great spot. Blue Microphones, the official sponsor of DeanBlundell.com and the 30 Plus podcasts and the DeanBlundell.com podcast network. Also, proud sponsors of the Show Us Your Pod contest. We're going to pick one lucky winner to join us at the network. We're going to actually give them some money. We're going to give them some equipment courtesy of Blue, including a Yeti X microphone, mic arm, and these sneaky cool little headphones. They're really nice. And we want to make sure that that one person gets off to the right start. So go and sign up by leaving us your link at DeanBlundell.com right on the front page. It's on the right-hand side, and we'll get in touch with you. We're going to listen to it. We've listened to all of them, 534 of them. Ooh, that's a lot of podcasts. Some really good, some not so much. I had one guy send me one of just him talking into a microphone, saying the same thing over and over again. The devil flies at midnight. It was 12 minutes long. The devil flies at midnight. That's what he kept saying over and over and over again. So he's probably not going to make it. But we've got a bunch of other good ones that will. So show us your pod at DeanBlundell.com, and you could find yourself with a whole bunch of new Blue microphone stuff. Thanks to Ed at Ed's Fine Imports. His Gitch, the best in Canada, the best underwear on the planet, luxury underwear. It's got a pouch in the front. It's like a sleeping bag for your nutsack. Holds everything away from your legs, too. You need separation down there. You got to have it. Things get musty. Buy 3 and get 1 free right now when you use promo code GITCH3 at Ed's Fine Imports, edsfineimports.com. Gitch, then the number 3. They get you your 4th pair of Gitch for free. Bunch of different colors. Go and surf the web. Have a look. edsfineimports.com for more information. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the podcast. You can get more at DeanBlundell.com. Sign up for our newsletter there. Da, 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 da. That's it. Have a great day. Don't forget, Darrin Pfeiffer at Dangerous Darrin. Or Darrin Pfeiffer on Instagram, or Darrin99 on Twitter. Dangerous Darrin Show. Adobe Radio, etc. Bye, everybody.